Hey guys, Breakthrough Health and Life Coach Glenn Hattem. I'm here with my online presence coach, Rachel Fleming, and we just had an incredible conversation today, leaning in on how to use my assets. I have a lot of assets from doing this for the last 3 decades. We've got a lot of things that can be repurposed. And I guess our conversation today, there was a lot of really great nuggets on how to go about this intelligently. As well as I was just surprised, as well as probably you were, that like I've really got a lot of good stuff, that just been sitting in this like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like warehouse for so long.
Yeah,
And now it's kind of, I feel like a kid in a candy store. We've got all this really great stuff to work with and build off of.
yeah, definitely. Whenever we're thinking about, working on an online presence, whether that's website, social media, any number of channels that we may be using, we're looking at two different things. So we're looking at content creation and content curation. So content creation is some of the stuff that you and I have been doing before this of, hey, let's shoot some new video. Let's create some new graphics or some new commercials, or however we may want to be building out new content from the moment that we met moving forward. Content curation is taking stuff that you already have in place, and we're going to be purposing that to be useful for showing what you've been doing for the last 3 decades. You've been doing this for a really long time. It's super, super valuable. We want to use these assets as an investment as we move forward, and really trying to show your new audience just exactly what you've been doing for the past 3 decades and why you're so good at it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Today was kind of eye-opening just because I didn't really know what was in there in this like container. I just kind of thrown everything to, and luckily for me, I keep all those testimonials. I keep all those video documentation of performance, enhancement of the clients that I work with. And so there's a lot of really great stories in there, and there's
Right.
a lot of really great useful assets, that I'm surprised, and probably, you were like, oh, we've got a ton of stuff.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. But yeah, I think that's really, really potent. What would you say from today's, conversation, next step? Like we're right now, we've moved through a lot of A/B tests, and coming out of those A/B tests, we're now at this next place of really, investing heavily into uh, the right corners of the market that really work for me and
Yeah.
my audience. And so maybe just sharing a little tidbit, and we'll fill everybody in next week when we get to that,
Yeah.
those aspirations.
Totally. So what we've noticed with your A/B tests is we've found certain visuals and certain copy and certain targeting, three different variables there that have worked really, really well and seem to resonate well with your audience and are leading people who need you to you. And that's kind of what we're looking for there. So now that we've nailed down those variables, we're able to put a little bit more time and energy into those variables in terms of ads, creating content, and really throwing stuff as much as we can towards those people that we know are going to be valuable to you, and you're going to be valuable to them. So our next steps moving forward are continuing to create content for them, and then being able to track certain metrics like cost per click, website traffic, really tapping into those Google Analytics in the back end of your website, and making sure that we're finding the right people for you and that you're right for them as well. So it's all about being the right fit there. So that's what we're going to be looking at for the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I just really appreciate how much we've been like studying their behavior. So we're really looking at like, how does, when do they shop, and how do they go about shopping, and how do we provide a ton of value for them. So in this day and age, everyone kind of does a stalker thing of like, I'm going to investigate you at 1 a.m. and on my own terms, my own way, and find my way through, through our help to making those, next step critical decisions so they can investigate further. But the way the market is set up, as most people know nowadays, everybody wants to do it kind of in their way, on their own time, time frame. And so how do we provide the right resources for them to be successful and get into a conversation with us? And so, yeah, I'm really excited because we've had some really incredible responses and great leads coming through, and which allows us to do great work. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited. really moving here, and it's great to see the wheels turning, and great to see people who need you coming to you, and people that you are really ready to connect with, and having those conversations. It's really cool to see that manifest its way in a very, very real way.
Yeah, well, I just want to say thank you, Rachel, and I'm looking forward to our next call next week, checking in on the work we've been doing. But it's amazing to see, what I'm experiencing is like this feels like crazy amount of momentum we're having, and we're just so new into this game. Even though you've been in this game for some time, I'm new to it, but
Right.
it feels like things are happening very quickly and are starting to click, and we're starting to get some traction. So yeah, excited to share next week how things have transformed once again, which seems to be every week things are transforming here. So
Yeah, it's fun to see the needle move for sure.
yeah, so thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week. Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Glenn.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Yep.